All right, so our last lesson is on plant science in the future. So, future is always a concern when it comes to agriculture and especially plants. There's three main concerns: repurposing current scientific understanding and technology, envisioning any type of technology or scientific understanding, and imagining or conserving a technology not yet produced or created. The growing interest in biofuels, remember we just talked about that, um, to meet energy needs and reduce fossil fuels. It's essential both ag and fuel source production be maximized to make the most productive use of available land. Work in molecular biology is likely to continue and expand. Scientists may be able to genetically modify plants to contain a range of different nutrients and even provide vaccinations to people eating them. This will really come a long way for third world countries. Efforts to engineer increased disease resistance and drought resistance are likely, and so these would help reduce the risk of poor harvest and crop shortages, especially in the developing world. Unfortunately, these same modifications can provide increased and resistant food supplies, produce new problems for biologists, botanists, and other plant scientists. We see issues with pollen from GMO plants spreading to similar plants that are not genetically modified, and potential problems with pollinator populations as a result of molecular modifications. Plant science will also have to respond to changing climate. Scientists expect temperature and carbon dioxide levels to rise. Elevated levels may lead to a reduction in the nutritional value of key crops, such as wheat. Furthermore, it's assumed that night temperature will increase disproportionately, and that's going to impact the growth cycles. So they have a lot of um, potential problems that they're going to be studying. So plant science is definitely a safe career to pursue. Um, so they want to engineer crops that can resist drought and other resource limitations, such as soil nutrients, enabling people to cultivate marginal, presently unproductive land more successful, to increase yield by bioengineering, and to enhance nutritional quality without sacrificing quantity. So it's essential that attention is paid to developing countries and the ag of developing countries. They're at the highest risk of having inadequate food supplies. So plant science will have to address the significant concerns posed by a growing population and by climate change. Healthy plants are essential to feed the population and minimize the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. All right, so now we will do the knowledge check, and then we will be done with Unit 8 and all lessons of AgriScience 2. All right, so question 1. Corey is an agri-scientist selecting cities or sites in a city for ag use. What would the least be his worries? Proximity to paved surfaces, not really. It's in a city, that's going to happen. Adequacy of soil, they need to be concerned about that. Plant varieties used need to be concerned about that. Availability of water, being that they're in a city, typically you'd think they're going to be close to water. So Molly is an agri-scientist working on a research team examining sources for biofuels. Molly's experience is in commercial farm production, and she is interested in finding sources of biofuels that don't involve using crop yields. What source is Molly most likely to consider? Well, she works for a farm, so she's going to do something with farm, but she don't want to affect the crop. So crop residue, so whatever they have excess. So it doesn't involve using crop yields, but it still uses her connection with the crops. Felix is examining the need for a remote village and dry area with little rainfall, scant water access, and poor soil for farming. He wants to find ways to help the community grow their own food to make them more self-sufficient. How could Felix best accomplish this? So the most efficient way would be provide plant hybrids that need less water and fewer nutrients. Okay, because they don't have a lot of water and they do not have good soil. All right. So now, hopefully, you know a little bit more about plants, the whole spectrum of it. I know we went over a lot, but it is a great career to go into, and it's great to be knowledgeable about it. Know where your food comes from, know how to grow it. Get out there and try a garden. I encourage you because it is rewarding and it is fun.